FBI discovers secret tunnel under Rick Harrison's mansion. They turn pale when they see what's inside. 701 deceased bodies found. It started with a creak, an eerie groan beneath the marble floor of Rick Harrison's Las Vegas mansion. But no one expected this. Not the officers. Not even the FBI. And certainly not the millions of fans who once watched him wheel and deal antique revolvers and old guitars on TV. INTRO, from Pawn Star to prisoner, the shocking turn that no one saw coming. Rick Harrison was once the guy you turned to when you wanted to sell your grandfather's war medals or find out if your Elvis autograph was real. He was Las Vegas royalty, the brains behind the gold and silver pawn shop, the star of History Channel's hit show Pawn Stars, and a businessman who managed to turn quirky deals into a television empire. But now, he's the headline of every news outlet, and for all the wrong reasons. In a story that feels more like a true detective script than real life, the FBI recently discovered a hidden tunnel under Harrison's opulent estate. What they found inside didn't just raise eyebrows, it turned stomachs. 701 decomposing bodies. Yes, 701. But how do we go from pawn shop punchlines to federal investigations and a secret tunnel of horrors? Buckle up. This story only gets darker and stranger from here. Chapter 1. The Man Behind the Counter. How Rick Harrison built an empire from nothing. Rick's story wasn't always this grim. In fact, it started with an underdog's dream. Diagnosed with epilepsy at just 8 years old, Rick Harrison spent much of his early life bedridden, reading books and learning about history. That childhood curiosity evolved into a fascination with rare objects and, eventually, a full-blown passion for pawning. He and his father, the beloved old man, opened the gold and silver pawn shop in 1989. Business was slow at first, but in classic Rick fashion, he hustled, networked, and pitched their shop to networks for nearly 20 years before Pawn Stars was finally born in 2009. The rest, as they say, is history. But was there a darker history brewing beneath the shop surface? What did Rick keep hidden, not just from the cameras but from the world? Chapter 2. A pawn shop's strange side hustle. Rumors that didn't age well. Over the years, fans of Pawn Stars speculated about odd goings-on at the shop. Some said rare artifacts were disappearing between episodes. Others joked about the backroom being a portal to another universe. Rick, of course, played it cool. His quick wit, sarcastic humor, and no-nonsense negotiating style turned him into a lovable TV personality. But there were whispers, rumors that didn't quite die, even after the cameras stopped rolling. One rumor claimed that Rick had a special basement at his mansion where he kept the real treasures. Another? That European black market collectors visited Rick's estate late at night, always in unmarked cars. Most people laughed it off, until the floor creaked, and the tunnel was found. Chapter 3. The Tunnel, a discovery that changed everything. It began with a noise. A maintenance worker in Rick's mansion reported strange vibrations under the floor. At first, it was dismissed. Las Vegas sits on desert sands, after all. But curiosity got the better of them. Authorities were called. A ground-penetrating radar scan revealed something bizarre, a long, reinforced tunnel snaking underneath the estate. That's when the FBI got involved. What they found once they descended into the tunnel wasn't just disturbing. It was downright apocalyptic. 701 bodies. Layered, organized. Some wrapped in linens. Others showing signs of ritualistic markings. Some appeared to be very old. Others, shockingly recent. The question on everyone's mind. How? Chapter 4. Connecting the dots, from antique dealer to alleged kingpin. Authorities began tracing Rick's business transactions. They uncovered an intricate web of offshore accounts, suspicious wire transfers, and unusually large cash deposits. What started as a routine check for tax evasion suddenly spiraled into something bigger: money laundering, artifact trafficking, and now, possibly murder. Was Rick a lone wolf, operating in secret beneath his pawn shop persona? Or was he a pawn himself in something far more sinister? An underground network of black market dealers? A historical artifact cult? A burial site for mafia enforcers? The theories flooded in. But one thing was certain, this wasn't just about unreported income anymore. This was about lives, hundreds of them. Chapter 5. The victims. Who were they? Among the 701 bodies were men, women, and children. Some bore historical clothing, suggesting they may have been preserved or relocated corpses from archaeological digs. Others, tragically, were identified as missing persons from as recently as 2021. DNA testing is ongoing. Authorities say the site could take years to process fully. But early signs point to a disturbing pattern. Many of the bodies were found with objects placed in their mouths, coins, gemstones, even vintage watches. It appears symbolic, almost ritualistic. A twisted mockery of the pawn process itself. Was Rick recreating a version of his store underground, except the items being traded were human lives? Chapter 6. Pawn Star or Psychopath. The courtroom bombshells. Rick Harrison's courtroom appearances have been anything but normal. On day 1, he smirked. On day 2, he requested to represent himself. On day 3, he burst into uncontrollable laughter when the prosecution introduced a 19th-century dagger allegedly used in several murders. His legal team is scrambling to contain the circus-like atmosphere of the trial, while fans either rally to his defense or distance themselves entirely. The most chilling moment came when the judge asked him, "Do you deny the existence of the tunnel and the bodies within it?" Rick replied, "I never said I wasn't a collector." Chapter 7. Behind Closed Doors. What Angie Polishkin, Rick's wife, revealed. In a teary, nationally televised interview, Rick's estranged wife, Angie Polishkin, broke her silence. She described late-night whispers, unexplained trips to Europe, and one incident where she found Rick scrubbing what looked like blood off antique scrolls in his garage. "I asked him once what he was doing," she said. "He looked me in the eyes and said, 'History is written in blood.' I thought he was just being poetic." She now believes she was living with a man she didn't truly know. A man who may have turned history into horror. Is this the end of the Pawn Stars legacy? History Channel has pulled all Pawn Stars reruns. The shop is closed. Tourists now walk past with hushed voices instead of selfie sticks. Corey Harrison, Rick's son and longtime co-star, has gone silent. Chum Lee, the fan-favorite goofball, issued a short statement. "I can't believe this. I just wanted to sell comic books and swords." For millions of fans, the fall of Rick Harrison is like watching a beloved character turn villain overnight. But the real question is, was it all a lie from the beginning? Chapter 9. So, what can we learn from this? This story, while wild and deeply unsettling, offers more than just a tabloid thrill. It's a reminder that appearances can be deceiving, that charisma can cloak chaos, and that the stories we fall in love with on screen, in books, in real life, are often carefully curated. Behind every grinning television deal may be secrets buried under the surface, or in this case, under the marble floors of a mansion. So, next time you tune into a reality show or idolize a public figure, ask yourself, what don't I see? What's hidden in the tunnels beneath the charm? Final thoughts. What now? The investigation into Rick Harrison is ongoing. The charges are stacking. The headlines are multiplying. And the tunnel. Well, it's now a crime scene of biblical proportions. This story isn't over. But it's a chilling chapter in the saga of fame, fortune, and the dark places people are willing to go to protect a legacy. Chapter 10. The tunnel itself, an engineering nightmare or a shrine? When forensic engineers entered the tunnel beneath Rick Harrison's estate, they expected a crude escape route or hidden vault, not a full-blown, professionally designed labyrinth. This wasn't some DIY crawlspace hidden behind drywall. This tunnel was crafted with industrial-grade steel beams, an independent air filtration system, and, most disturbingly, murals. Yes, murals. Painted scenes of historical battles, crowned kings, and what appeared to be ancient religious rituals lined the walls. In one room, a massive mosaic showed an eerily familiar man, Rick himself, dressed in 17th-century royal robes, sitting atop a pile of gold coins and skeletons. What was this? A shrine to himself? A delusional museum? or a twisted homage to the value of history? Even the most seasoned FBI agents reportedly struggled to contain their emotions when walking through the tunnel's farthest chamber, a circular room with torches. Yes, real torches, glass cases of ancient relics, and a stone altar in the center, drenched in what appeared to be blood. Chapter 11. A Cult of One, or Something Bigger. As investigators dug deeper, both literally and figuratively, one unsettling question emerged. Did Rick Harrison build this alone? Because, let's be honest, constructing a mile-long tunnel beneath a luxury mansion, lining it with elaborate artifacts, and transporting 701 bodies isn't exactly a solo project. Someone had to help, maybe many someones. Several former employees are now under investigation. One was a night security guard at the pawn shop who mysteriously vanished in 2022. Another is a contractor who worked on Rick's backyard renovation and allegedly received payment in gold coins. Were they collaborators? Pawns in a deadly game? Or were they silenced when they got too close to the truth? The unsettling possibility that there could be more tunnels, or worse, more Rick Harrisons operating quietly under society's radar, has led federal agents to open investigations into other high-value collectors across the country. Chapter 12. Internet sleuths and Reddit detectives, the conspiracy community goes wild. Naturally, the internet did what it does best, speculate like crazy. Reddit threads exploded with theories that the tunnel was part of a global elite trafficking ring, that Rick was a secret member of the Illuminati, or that the pawn shop was simply a front for a centuries-old death cult. One thread even claimed the show's episodes contained coded clues, pointing to specific historical artifacts that, once decoded, reveal Rick's hidden messages to fellow cultists. Crazy? Sure. But in a world where 701 bodies can be discovered under a TV star's mansion, suddenly everything seems plausible. Fans now rewatch old Pawn Stars episodes with new eyes, searching for nervous glances, offbeat jokes, and strange customer interactions. Every awkward laugh or odd transaction is being reinterpreted. And let's not forget the episode where a customer brought in a mummified hand and Rick smirked and said, "I've got a few of those lying around." Was he joking? Or was he confessing? Chapter 13. The Psychology of Rick, Fame, Power, and the Hidden Need to Control History. What drives someone from TV fame to tunnel horror? Psychologists suggest that Rick Harrison's obsession with owning pieces of the past may have mutated into something more disturbing, a need to control history itself. And what better way to assert ultimate control than to collect lives? This isn't about money, said Dr. Harriet Caldwell, a criminal profiler interviewed on 60 Minutes. It's about power. The power to decide what lives are worth keeping and which are worth preserving like objects. Rick's own words during interviews over the years now read like breadcrumbs. I don't just deal in items. I deal in stories. History is what I say it is. Everything has a price, even time. Chilling, isn't it? Chapter